frog basically enables us to be more sentimental. It just lets us, it enables that addiction to the familiar. It enables us to stick to the ways of the past by giving us a psychological excuse. But here's the myth. It's a story that we've all heard. And the myth is that when you're boiling a frog, you put it in the water and you increase the temperature 1 degree at a time, and the temperature goes up so slowly that the frog doesn't notice it, and then he just never hops out. And the idea of this particular moral is that that's how government grows. Government grows in these tiny, invisible increments. While we're not paying any attention, government just starts to increase just bit by bit. That's the myth. And the corollary of that myth is that in order to reverse that process, we have to kind of do the opposite. In other words, reduce the temperature 1 degree at a time. Then we need to kind of be real clever and infiltrate. We need to make our message soft and invisible. Anything we say, according to this myth, needs to fit inside of the paradigm of the cult of the omnipotent state. When we talk about this frog, we say, listen, if we want to talk about scaling things back, we can't talk about ending foreign aid. We can't talk about repealing all gun laws. We can't talk about getting rid of public schools. We can't talk about shutting down these military bases and bringing the troops home. We need to do, according to this myth, what they did first, which is increase this just a little bit at a time, just 1 degree at a time. But there are 2 huge problems with that myth. The first one's a logical one. Just because something took a long time to get one way doesn't mean it takes a long time to undo it. It might take years to build a building. If you've ever seen a wrecking crew, it only takes a couple hours to get rid of it. It can take years to build all kinds of things, but only a few seconds to get rid of it. So there's that logical problem. There's no logical rule that says that the amount of time to dismantle a thing is roughly equal to the amount of time to build it up. But there is also a factual problem with that myth, which is government does not grow 1 degree at a time. Never has. The big changes in government happen all at once. Many of us were alive during the birth of the Department of Homeland Security. You remember what it was like. It wasn't, this tiny incremental increase. One day there was no Department of Homeland Security, and then the next day there was. Same is true of the New Deal taxes. One day they weren't there, and the next day they were there. Prohibition, it wasn't there one day, and then the next day it was. The passage of the 16th Amendment in the income tax wasn't there, then it was. You see, the supporters of statism, they're not sentimental about liberty. They won't say, listen, we need to phase this in over 50,000 years. They'll say, let's phase it in right this second. But the fact is, even those who fight for liberty have had the biggest successes when they've not worried about this myth of the frog, about doing things 1 degree at a time. See, they realize this, that sometimes arguments, debates can take decades or centuries, but the actual changes, they happen all at once. The 13th Amendment happened all at once. The 19th Amendment happened all at once. Yes, it is true that it took many, many centuries to debate and discuss the ideas, but the change happened in one move. When it comes to cutting a government department, it is not something that needs to take years or decades or centuries. Maybe we'll be arguing for years, but the actual process requires only 2 things. First, you fire everyone who works there. and then you put the building on the market. That's the whole thing. There is no reason for libertarians, in my opinion, to get addicted to the sentimentality of statism. There's no reason for us to be attached to the ways that they are doing things now. Those aren't our ways, those are their ways. There's no reason for us to hold ourselves back in our words and our arguments and our demands and our desires when the changes we want are big and fast and absolute.